Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Four Continental Podcast. The usual, me and Singh Pak. Let's just dive straight into the round of 32 games of the FIFA World Cup. Starting off with Brazil versus Japan. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, starting off with the prediction I actually made the exact prediction of Brazil 2-1 Japan. Like I've said, I do think that it was going to be a close game. And I do think the fact that even though Brazil might seem weak for now, but I do think they still have the quality to be able to score goals and turn things around. And that's what exactly we've seen in this game. I mean, starting off in the first half, I really think Japan started off well. I mean, obviously we saw like two crazy challenges by Sano. He literally had a challenge on Vinicius and also had a challenge on Cunha. He got a yellow, but some people wanted him off the pitch completely. And guess what? He was the one who had a counter and scored the goal for Japan as well, which was a crazy goal in my opinion. But yeah, going to the second half though, I think that's when Brazil really started stepping up and apply pressure. I mean, we seen like a great header by Bruno, a great shot by Casemiro, which I don't know how was blocked by Tomiyasu. And obviously, we cannot like not talk about the Vinicius beautiful goal attempt. I mean, that was probably one of the goal of the tournament. But yeah, the goalkeeper was just saving Japan so hard. He was having a great game. And even though I do think Japan defense was looking solid and the goalkeeper was clutching up for them, but eventually Brazil just got through. And obviously, we did see like Casemiro score and Martinelli who scored, which I'm actually kind of happy because Martinelli has been getting hate for a long time now that he's been quite average and stuff. So I'm happy he scored his goal. Hopefully, he gets his confidence back up. But yeah, what do you think of the game, Moment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the game, one of the most anticipated games of the knockout stages. Japan once again could not really break their knockout stage curse. Sano scored a great goal from a counter attack, and but then once again Japan just completely went to parking the bus, which once again allowed Brazil to put immense pressure upon them. And like first half, they comparatively defended well, but in the second half, I think the Endrick substitution made some positive impact for Brazil because he was really making the runs, etc. And yeah, the goal that was scored, I think it was Danilo who sent the cross, was scored by Casemiro. And yeah, then just the momentum basically just shifted towards Brazil completely. And yeah, as you mentioned, the Vinicius, the dribble he made, which almost a goal if it had it been for the save. Although it was just the fingertips, but those fingertips did the job for the keeper. But yeah, what a goal that would have been, honestly. And but yeah, I was expecting the game to kind of go into maybe extra time, but at the very last minute, yesterday, I think it was Tanaka who lost the ball, and then it was just Bruno Guimaraes. He passed it to Martinelli, who was wide open, who was not marked like at all. He had tons of open space, and he just just banged it into the corner. Yeah, it was a last minute heartbreak for Japan. Yeah, yeah, it was really sad, mostly for the Japan side, despite defending well. But the goal was gonna come eventually at some point, and it did come at the very end. So, David,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I do agree that I think Japan went to defense mode like too early. They should have tried to score more in the first half, but yeah, and then by the time it was second half, it was just too late. Like we said, Brazil was constantly applying pressure, and even though they were defending well, it was just yeah, it was just eventually going to happen. So yeah, David joined. So what's your opinion on the Brazil versus Japan game?
Hello, hello, Pitas. Yeah, it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. I thought Brazil played well. I think you're right. I think in the first half, Japan were the better team. They were much more dominant. They really should have scored more, I reckon. They had good chances. But then in the second half, they fumbled. Like they crumbled. They went into full defense mode and just let Brazil have all possession and just let Brazil keep firing shots in. So I think Japan kind of deserved this loss, to be honest. Like from the 50th minute, 60th minute onwards, they just parked for full bus, had no chances. Yeah, I think it was a great game. What do you think, Momin?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Japan basically went like parking the bus way too quickly. One goal lead against a team like Brazil, although they aren't really at their best form, but still a 1-0 lead against Japan, and you just go full defensive. I don't think that's a smart thing to do because the players the Brazil still has. I thought the chemistry altogether might not be the best, but still they have the player, they have the quality to turn it around, and they did show it in the game that they can turn it around. In fact, and yeah, but you can't really say Brazil didn't deserve it. They did deserve it. They attacked very well. They kept the pressure on the Japanese side, and despite defending brilliantly, they just couldn't stop the Brazilians from scoring. And yeah, once again, a very last minute heartbreak for Japan.
Yeah, right, right. So with that, should we move on to the next game, which was Germany versus Paraguay? What's your thoughts on that moment?
Yeah, honestly, Paraguay once again a defending masterclass. Again, as we have previously seen from the smaller teams in tournament. Paraguay once again put up a great defensive masterclass. They didn't give uh, space at all to the German side. Despite Germany keeping like 70-80% of the possession, they still could not create as many chances. And Julio Enciso, what a baller he is for Paraguay. Almiron,
You
both
guys,
of them
you
really
guys watching the
stepped
game
up this
later?
game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who's winning?
I'm going for Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast?
Yeah.
No, I think if you look at the bigger picture, I think Norway will win because if you look at historically, like they got Viking blood and Vikings tend to be stronger. So I think
Yeah,
Oh,
true. That's a very big factor, bro.
that's
I
actually
You know
think
what?
facts.
You
they'll
know what? I'm gonna
overpower
switch that up. I'm gonna switch that up. Now
they'll
I think
overpower the
Norway's
Ivory
gonna
Coast
win.
people.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. I think Norway's gonna win now. Fuck that, bro. Bro.
Yeah, you gotta look at historically, like the Vikings, they
Yeah, yeah,
conquered
sure,
they
sure.
conquered England, they conquered like so many other countries, so they got
So,
blood within them. Like, would you respect Ivory Coast? They live in like mud
so,
houses in Africa, so they can't really overpower
Yeah.
the Norwegians.
so, is there any history you can tell for the France versus Sweden as well? Like, should we like base our predictions off some history as well?
Well, France, you gotta look at a bigger picture on that one because the
Yeah,
French they tend to have much more talent because they tend to be the first pick, But look at the Ivory Coast players; they tend to not be as the same level as the Ivory Coast players.
right, right. I mean, yeah, I mean, thanks for telling us. I mean, yeah, now we'll start looking at the history of all the countries and stuff.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
but
with that, we can make like
history
better
kind of matters if you
predictions.
look at it. Looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if a country's had
Yeah.
a better economy, they have
yeah.
better facilities, which means they can train better. Look at Morocco;
Hmm.
all their players like grew
Mm.
up in Europe, so that's why they're so
Hmm.
good.
Speaking about the economy, though, what do you think of the GDP of Mexico and Ecuador in the last 100 years?
Ooh.
Like,
Well,
what do you think
Mexico
of
has
the
never won
growth
a
rates
trophy,
and like per
same as
capita,
Ecuador.
all
They've
that
never won the
stuff?
World Cup.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Yes, sir.
definitely. Tell us more about the GDP.
Yeah, like the growth rate, the GDP per capita. Like, we want to hear like all aspects, everything.
Like GDP, like Norway's one of the richest countries in the world, so like football's not their biggest priority. That's why sometimes we see like small African countries do well because they prioritize football. Like Argentina, like they're not economically advanced, but they tend to prioritize football, which is yeah, but like does winning football matter at the end of the day? I don't think so. So
But you know, like as we talk about Argentina, we know like their history, especially in the past 100, 200 years. I
yeah.
mean, you know, it's kind of crazy, but do you think that actually kind of has an impact of how good of they are in as a football team?
Well, but mm, that's a good question to be honest. Honestly, like yeah, kind of. But Argentina, they just prioritize football as a big national level. Like if the country if they lose, it'll be a national disaster for like the next few months. But if Germany loses, they tend to not take it as seriously because they got bigger problems, you know?
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. So many historical evidence from the Paraguay Germany game.
Um, when Germany, well, as people, when they won the World Cup, they don't have, any players of color in their team.
So
Like
I have
the
a
team,
question.
like when Germany won the World Cup, they had like lots of, the Nazis, they had the Nazi blood in them. Now we just have African blood within them, which is why we're not as good.
Oh, I see. So is that what
Yeah,
makes
that's what I was talking about for Argentina as well. So do you think that
Mm,
had an impact of how good they are now?
Well,
Because you know, like
mm,
Argentina,
with the arrival
they
of
didn't really have
immigrants and stuff.
most of the players of Italian descent, and obviously, you know,
Yeah, and also you know like how Argentina used to have like a lot more black population, but over the
yeah,
years that
or they had a
has
black
also went
population.
down.
Football didn't exist back then.
Oh, okay, true, true. Right, David, anything you want to add on?
yeah. So with this logic, right? So USA should be really powerful because they had like really powerful slavery, right? So I feel like with this logic, they should be quite good in the World Cup, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but USA they tend to prioritize other sports. That's like what their fifth sport,
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
right. You're right. That's fair. No, I hear it. So what do you think about Japan? Because they were quite brutal in the war, World War II. Like their
Yeah.
torture methods are like the most brutal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Much worse than Nazi Germany.
Yeah, but I
Japan?
mean like after the World War II, I think Japan had a like like a huge increase in the country's growth and everything. I mean, we saw them shift to a more industrialization model. They were, but their industrialization was like different from the Western types. They were focusing a lot more on like automobiles and stuff. So yeah, I do think
Mm,
like Japan had made a lot of shift. I mean, obviously they did have help from the aids from like USA and stuff, which I assume some of that they did put in the development of football as well. So that's why I think they have grown a lot over the years for real.
I mean, look at the average Japanese man in the 1940s and now. It's a big difference. Back then they had bigger balls to do stuff. Now we just sit down and watch anime, you know.
Yeah, but you know they have the best PR in the world, so that's a
Yeah, you
plus.
just
Because you know
gotta
back then they did not have a good PR. That's for sure.
oh
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Even like if you look at it as a whole, like football, it's like a sport for goy, you know. It's to keep
Mm,
people distracted, like running circuses.
yeah, I see. So I have a question. So do you think that Brazil bombed Japan in this game the same way that the USA bombed Japan? Would you compare that?
Well, Brazilians look at it that way because all they care about is football. Like if you go to Sao Paulo, it's a fucking shithole. So, but Japan doesn't really care. I mean, they do, but a week later they'll forget. And the Brazilians, they still remember 7-1, like it's a fucking national tragedy.
Mm, that's true. It's true. So this is like almost like revenge for Brazil, it feels like.
Yeah, basically that way the Japanese can give a fuck. Like if we see Twitter, all the Brazilians are bragging about it. Like you're still gonna wake up in the favelas, like your life doesn't change.
Yeah, I hear it. Sing Pack, do you have any more thoughts on the history?
Yeah, I mean like obviously it's quite interesting, but now with you guys, I'm just diving a lot deeper into this philosophy, and now I'm thinking about like Brazil. I feel like they kind of cooked Japan so hard to the point it kind of made me wonder, like, do you think it is possible for Brazil to actually like just hypothetically, do you think they can colonize countries like Brazil? Now they colonizing other countries. Do you think that's possible?
Um, honestly, no. Like the only country they could probably colonize is probably Uruguay or fucking Bolivia, but they don't have the strength to do anything else.
Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta think about the wealth gap between Brazil, because obviously we do look at the favelas and all the stuff, but I think there's also another side of Brazil which is like it is actually quite decently rich, and I think people tend to ignore that as well. So like, I think Brazil suffers from a huge wealth gap problem, but if we accumulate everything, like looking at the GDP reports and stuff, like Brazil's GDP per capita is actually not that bad, you know, and throughout the years, it's actually one of the fastest growing countries in the world, similar to Bangladesh.
Yeah, but there's a massive wealth divide. Like if you go to Rio or Sao Paulo, just watch videos, it's shit. Like worse than shit. But yeah, every country has rich neighborhoods, so
Yeah, you're right. So I just want to I have a question, right? So I
yeah.
know a guy, his name is Diego. He's from the favelas in Olinda. He dreams of living in Japan one day. I just want to know what you think about this sort of like multinationalism, what you think about this diversity. Just tell us what you think about
It's
rivals wanting to
yeah,
live together.
he could move to Japan and have kids there, but he will never be Japanese, just like his kids. They'll never accept him.
Right. What do you think of people when they have mixed kids together though? Do you think it's still Brazilian or
Well, Brazilian, it's a very diverse country. It's always been. So yeah, I think, but
Yeah, I
but
mean, and the fact like Brazil isn't a race itself, right? It is a like diverse, like you have
yeah,
said.
it's
Mm,
So,
probably the most diverse
in my
country.
opinion,
Yeah.
I think because you know, like there's like 2 million Japanese who lives in Brazil as well.
damn.
So yeah, and I mean they
Yeah.
are considered Brazilians as well. So
Oh
But
wow.
it wouldn't be the same case the other way around.
true,
Right. Why is
true.
that?
Like just go on social media, see what Japanese people think when they see the black goalkeeper.
True. They're racist, yeah. When they
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
double in goal,
Sure.
yeah.
And it was similar to South Korea in the sense like South Korea like tends to have a very high standard as well. I mean, we literally seen like them blurring the manager. But
Coach.
I was thinking, right? If
Mm,
the Japanese goalkeeper dropped a stinker, do you think Japan would like blur the goalkeeper the same way?
yeah.
Probably not, but South Korea and
Well,
Japan are very different culturally. Just because they look the same doesn't mean they're the same.
cook.
No, they definitely are not the same.
Yeah, yeah. No, like I heard that there's actually like a lot of South Koreans living in Pakistan. I was quite surprised, but I heard like the population's like almost a mil.
Where did you even read that?
I read that on where was it? It was like the encyclopedia. It was written by I think it was like an Israel source, I think, or
Jerusalem
maybe
Times,
on what?
the Jerusalem Post, like it's an article famous as
Yeah, it might have been that actually. Yeah, it was like from the Israel region.
Wait, but which city are the South Koreans in? Are they in Islamabad? Like what?
It was either
Karachi.
that or Lahore. It might have
Oh,
been
Nah, nah,
Lahore,
Lahore.
nah, nah, nah,
interesting.
nah, nah.
That's quite close to the border. Hmm.
Yeah,
Nah,
like
Wait,
I
so
wait,
think
yeah.
wait. So they
near
might
India.
have went to India as well then, because Lahore is like super close to the border. You
Yeah,
know.
the Punjab region. I heard like they really like that region.
Oh, oh, that's lit. That's lit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was like a
Momin.
million or
Oh, you
something.
never told
Yeah,
us
yeah.
about that.
I
Yeah, you
mean,
didn't tell us more.
there isn't obviously millions of Koreans here, but there is a small community. They like mostly they live in Islamabad or Karachi, not really in Lahore. Karachi is more of a it's on the seaside, so yeah, and it used to be the first capital. So, uh, so yeah, most of them live there, and the remaining ones usually are in the capital, Islamabad.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and
I heard when I saw some interviews like, oh, we'd rather live here than in South Korea because it's less toxic and has better weather.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the people. Well, yeah, the people here really like the Korean the K dramas. And the moment they see in Korean, they're like, it's crazy. Even if you go to the South Korean embassy in Islamabad, it's like full most of the time because many people try to visit South Korea. Yeah, there is some kind of Korean craze here.
Wait. So I want to ask, right? So obviously, like Pakistan is a, I would say like it's some religiously it's a quite strict country, which is I think it's a good thing. But obviously, with the South Koreans going in popularity in Pakistan, so is there like a rise of K-pop and all the stuff in Pakistan as well? And if so, what do you think of that?
Good question.
I mean, K-pop is not really that like at least in my city, it's not that huge, but like the big cities like Karachi, uh, Lahore, you you're gonna find a significant portion of people who are like really into K-pop and not just K-pop, they're also into the Japanese ones. What's it called? Anime. So yeah, it's like uh, yeah, it's close between both of them,
But I never knew it
Japan
was.
and South
I
Korea.
never knew a million lived there. Like a million
No,
Koreans.
it's not a million.
I
Probably
Oh,
a,
I saw it on the Israel
a,
post. Wait.
yeah. Why our country doesn't even recognize Israel? Why would they even write an article about it?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused too. It makes no sense, but it
a
seemed
million
pretty
is a lot.
credible.
Like I knew it was a
That's
lot,
a
but a
lot.
million.
And like,
It's obviously not millions, maybe a couple of thousands. If
but
I'm
like
not
I saw
exaggerating.
on the article, it was talking about how just like what Singpak said about the culture, this article was talking about the culture, like the food, and it was talking about how like South Koreans try and put like noodles in the curry dishes, and like I was really confused. Like, is this actually true?
Oh yeah. You so I think in Pakistan there's also Maggie, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
Moment.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was the idea of it came because of that, because like
In South Korea.
originated from like yeah actually,
Oh
because
wow.
like it originated from the fact that because they tend to eat like soup noodles, but like here we kind of used to eat like dry noodles, but then seeing the influence of them, we
Oh,
started like mixing it up. So that's how Maggie came to be.
because the South Koreans. Wow.
Wow. And
Yeah, I
I saw one of
mean,
it.
not
Saw in the
completely, but
article it said like the Koreans living there they much prefer to live in Pakistan because it's a lot cleaner and all.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, true, maybe yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's also like in South Korea there are like some restaurants which specifically has boards saying like no Indians, no Bangladeshis allowed, but I never seen no Pakistan allowed. So yeah, I think now that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think you guys is a lot similar culture. You know,
Yeah, I heard this too. Yeah, I heard that.
it's
I won't
interesting.
really say similar culture. Like it's obviously the biggest difference being the religion, and it plays a huge part. The dietary restrictions and stuff like that. They basically eat almost everything, just like the Chinese. So that certainly does not happen here. Yeah, we have to be really careful with what we eat.
But can
Mm. So
I mean
like,
I don't blame them for moving there. Like I see why
yeah, no,
would they would move there.
I
Maybe
hear
just
it. Like,
mixing their dishes
I,
with their dishes.
like I heard the mixing of dishes is really like it's really great cultural practice, and like just like you said, the cleanliness. Like I was surprised, but they moved there because it's cleaner in South Korea. That's impressive. Like I got to give that to Pakistan. Like your government must be doing well.
Yeah,
And
like the
and if
dishes you
you
said, like
and if you know like Pakistan, like they also like had a huge involvement in the building Dubai as well, I believe. Like for the I actually think Pakistan had a huge role in like the airplane industry back in like the
Mm,
90s, right?
and in
I'm
and
not wrong, right,
2001
Moment?
in
yeah,
2001 or two.
trash.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when the
I guess
that's when
so.
the industry took
No,
off. Like in
it was in the
2001 ish.
90s. It was in the 80s, 90s, 80s. Yeah,
Oh, it
it's
feels like
yeah.
Like
2000.
late 90s. Yeah, late 90s or early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's where basically our Air Force, got air dominance from
Yeah,
the
there was a big
base
like
and performance.
airplane
Yeah,
event
yeah,
like in New York in 2001 about like
yeah.
different
Yes. So,
countries, contributing.
Oh, did Pakistan contribute to that? I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was in like New York in September. They like it was like an
Oh,
event somewhere.
I actually disagree with that. I don't think so.
oh,
Oh,
really?
must have been
Yeah,
confused with
yeah.
something else.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I saw on the same Israel article, but yeah, there was a strong involvement though, wasn't there? Did you read it too, Dana?
About what exactly?
About Pakistan's influence in the airplane industry in that time.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Oh, so you read it too? Yeah.
that's why they have such a good air force as well. Because like,
Wait, I'm
uh,
actually kind of confused because I mean, I obviously like even my Pakistani friend he told me, but it was like back in the 90s, 70s, 80s. But you guys are talking
Oh,
about like 2000, so
oh, it
this is really
wasn't.
having me confused.
It wasn't even 2001.
Oh, no,
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 no, it's definitely not in the 2000. I think it probably maybe in 1980s because our airline was quite well at that time. And if I'm not wrong, I
Oh,
think we trained the top-notch airlines we have right now, like Qatar and Emirates. I think we basically trained those airlines, and now they are obviously like number one, number two, and our our international airline is basically non-existent at this point. So yeah, it was I
yeah,
think in
like
the
the
early
Pakistani
80s or
planes, they
90s.
they
Yeah,
tend to
yeah.
never crash. Like they never crash into buildings or anything. So
mm.
that's
Yeah, no, very, very safe, actually. I gotta say, very safe. That's impressive. Those are good airlines.
yeah, like David, like you were saying, like the dishes between like South Korean dishes and Pakistani dishes, like mixing the Maggi and
The
the
culture.
curry together, like it
Yeah,
seems nice.
it is nice actually. Like I went to this place the other day, which had like a Australian twist on it, but it was really nice. Like I gotta say, I hope more Koreans go to Pakistan because the mix
wait,
is good.
what was the Australian twist, bro? I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah, so we put kangaroo in there. We cut up kangaroo tail, we steam it, and we put it in with the noodles and the curry. It was quite yum.
Oh, okay, that's a whole new
Okay.
level. But yeah, damn.
It was good, really good.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, it was actually quite tasty. It was a delicacy. It was like really posh.
Yeah, blending in
Dang.
different cultures.
Yeah, because I know that like the South Koreans in Pakistan, that's like its own new culture itself. So I'm glad that us Australians are adding to that.
Yeah, you get to experience it. Yeah.
100%. What do you think, Momin?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our people are like spread almost like in every country you go to, or at least gonna find a Pakistani there. So, and yeah, I think Australia has a quite significant, uh, amount of Pakistanis as well. So I think yeah, there will definitely be some influence, some fusion between both the country's foods. And since I've never been to Australia, so I guess we'll never know what kind of food, what kind of fusion they have over there.
Mm, yeah. No, the kangaroo tail steamed, I highly recommend. You guys should add it to the dish. Like it's actually
Oh yeah,
quite nice.
100%. Sounds nice.
It's tasty.
Wait, what about cola?
I
Like,
You could add some baked beans on it as well. Make it extra nice.
Ooh,
oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
yum.
make it English style. Yeah,
Yeah, add some
Yeah,
add some
yeah.
English flavor to it.
English
So
toast, a bit of
Mhm.
curry, a little bit of biryani, the noodles. What about your culture, Singpack? Anything?
Yeah, because obviously, like I've said, so I obviously live in by Hong Kong, but it's super
Mm,
close to mainland. And when I go
mainland.
Shenzhen, and like it's kind of crazy because back then, right? Obviously, China is kind of huge for selling like dog meat and stuff. But back then, that was actually kind of common. But nowadays, right, you actually have to book in a restaurant beforehand. Like your dad has to have to
Oh,
like reserve it. Like it's so posh now. Like it's
oh,
actually like a luxury good in mainland now, for real.
oh,
Dang.
yeah. That sounds good,
So
actually. Have you had
yeah,
some?
yeah. I mean, like here a bit and there. I mix it with
Oh,
curry. I eat it
yeah.
with roti. Yeah, it's like quite
Oh,
tasty in my opinion. Yeah,
bit of
Dang.
naan as well.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
But yeah, I would want to try it with the curry noodles with the Australian twist, like you have said as
Mm.
well. I think
Yeah,
it'll be a good mash.
yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon that they should bring that into Pakistan too. Not just the Korean noodles, also the Chinese dog. I think that'd actually be a good mix. What do you think?
Uh, I don't really agree with that personally because the dietary restrictions, even the kangaroo meat, it's not really permissible to eat. So it won't be allowed anyways. So yeah, I don't think it will really work here.
But would it not be suitable for like the non-Muslims living there? Like the Koreans, like
Yeah, I mean,
Hindus?
they have some food for them in some specific supermarkets or some specific sections for them, but still, it still requires some documentation to be able to bring such food, which is not really permissible in the religion, since the non-Muslims are like basically quite some minority here. So I think 1 or 2% maybe. The rest 98, 99% are just Muslims. So yeah, it has some heavy and some strict documentations before you can, bring anything over here.
Oh man, makes perfect sense to be fair. It would be nice to like, bring different cultures there.
Yeah, especially because the Korean culture's been so good so far. I think it'd
Yeah,
actually be quite
you
good
gotta make them feel welcomed.
for sure. Yeah, and honestly, like kangaroo, it's not too bad. Like I think it could fit in with the culture actually, with Islam, to be honest. Like I don't think it should be considered something that's something inappropriate, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's obviously nothing is wrong with the taste, of course, but the animal itself isn't really permissible to eat. You have a certain
Oh,
list of
Does
see.
it
animals
say in
that
like the religious book, like somewhere, do
yeah,
not
yeah,
eat
yeah, yeah.
kangaroo meat? It's forbidden.
Not
Oh,
specifically kangaroo meat, but yeah, there are some religious texts which tells us what we are able to eat all of the seafood. Like seafood is
So what if like
just
the kangaroo is raised in the sea? Would it make it be permissible then? Like if
yeah.
kangaroos like live by the sea? Because you said all
Mm.
sea meat
no.
is permissible.
Kangaroos do
I
actually.
mean, if we lived by the sea, it still does not live inside the sea, so
What if it's like
it
in
doesn't
evolution,
really.
like it just lived in the sea and in 2 million years, it
Uh,
grows
uh,
grows into a sea animal? Would it be permissible to eat then?
Yeah, I mean, uh, then it will obviously require uh, some opinion
Because whales
of
used to be
the.
mammals, like 10, 20 million years ago, whales used to live on land. But
Yeah, so
would it be
Yeah, that's
basically,
San
yeah,
Jose.
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't really eat
San
what,
Diego as well.
yeah, so basically alligators are the same. They live on water, land, both, so they are not transferable either. Uh, So yeah, and obviously, if we stay further evolution, it's gonna require some opinions from the experts of Islam. So yeah, it will take some really
But
long
I
time.
saw a video of like a religious guy saying like football in itself is haram. Is that true?
Oh
Football
damn.
isn't like haram. Basically, what's haram is like the video games, that require killing, etc. Uh, Killing itself, which is haram.
So
And
like, would it be haram to play GTA?
yeah, I mean,
Damn.
if you if you
Like
kill
you
innocent
virtually kill a
people on
police
it,
officer in the
yeah.
game.
Oh no
Would it be
Yeah,
haram?
way.
yeah, that would not be like really
Oh
permissible.
So would that be the difference from someone going to heaven and hell? Because like, would God say to
damn.
you, you killed this police officer on a video game, and you're 10 years
Oh,
old? Would you go to hell for that?
No, I mean you can always ask for forgiveness, so it isn't really that much of an issue probably. So yeah,
Oh, that makes sense. Because in football, like sometimes
mm.
you slide tackle and hurt other
yeah.
opponents.
Yeah.
That's not really like it's part of the game. And secondly, it's another thing that we have like the one thing because of which most scholars say that you should kind of avoid unless there's a certain we have for men in Islam, like we have to cover ourselves up until the knees. So yeah, so we can't really wear shorts as Muslims. So therefore, you have to wear something underneath the shorts which covers you until till the knees. Then you're good to go. Oh, yeah. Other than that, it's not really much of a problem.
That makes sense. What about women's football? Would that be bad?
Uh, yeah, I mean, as long as they're probably covered,
So like
not really
if
a
you're watching
problem.
like the Women's World Cup, they're always not going to be covered fully as you expect. Would it be haram to watch that?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, it would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why women's viewership is quite low. Because you look at the bigger picture, a lot of Muslims watch football. I mean, 2 billion Muslims worldwide. So do you think
yeah.
they should cover up so they can fit in
No, I
numbers
mean,
and
it's
games?
obviously not to force anyone. Forcing isn't permissible either. So, yeah, but on the other hand, if they don't really, cover themselves, they shouldn't be forced to, and
But
men
if
should
you're watching
probably
football and
lower
like
their gaze.
you know when you're watching football,
Yeah,
sometimes the
yeah,
camera
yeah,
it shows
yeah.
like baddies on the stadium, like women, like considerably hot women. Would you have to turn away?
Oh,
Like in the
Yeah, I
Portugal
mean,
Colombia game, it was like two Portuguese good
oh,
looking women. Would you have to look away?
yeah, you would have to.
Oh, makes sense. Did you?
Yeah, I
oh,
did.
You looked away when it showed us two baddies?
Yeah, of course. Since I like take it, you can say seriously, kind of. So yeah,
Oh,
I
that
kind
makes
of did
sense. Because
look
it would be
away.
morally
Yeah,
right to, God forbid a man
yeah,
sees two good looking women on the TV, Like I
damn.
understand
'Cause
that logic.
I didn't look away. I kept looking, to be honest. So you're a better man than me.
Yeah. That's what we expect, Because God forbid there's two baddies on the screen, like God forbid. Like, we wouldn't want to see that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, we gotta like hide that shit, We came to watch football.
Yeah,
Just
literally.
show two men instead, Don't show two baddies. Just show two men.
Just showed two balls. I mean, pause. I mean two players.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
wait. Like two sports at the same time? What do you mean by that?
Two balls.
Like basketball, football, like what?
Oh, I mean like two footballs, like
Oh, okay,
together,
okay.
Oh,
like in
yeah.
a like in the same game.
Like, I think you should file a complaint to FIFA one, because it showed us two baddies and there's like billion
Yeah, that's
Muslims
wrong,
watching.
bro. That's bad.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
not every Muslim is quite practicing. So many of them do stare. They can't really do anything about them. But, yeah,
Yeah.
it shouldn't really be
Would, would
banned.
you would you look
From
away when there's like a baddie next game?
yeah, I often do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah,
I
I
don't look
respect
away,
that
so I
for you.
respect you for getting the temptation
I
to.
respect that. I respect that. But
Yeah,
moment, I
respect.
actually want to ask, would you play GTA 6? Like, just curious.
I like to being fair. I did play GTA 5, but I didn't really kill anyone. So,
Oh,
and as
actually,
for
Sorry.
how did you even progress then? The first mission requires you to kill someone.
no,
Oh
no, I meant
damn.
like and
Oh,
um, uh, accept the missions. Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay,
obviously
okay, okay.
I did. Yeah, it's obviously required to you know some killing in the missions, but yeah,
Because like it's impossible to progress the first mission without
yeah,
killing.
obviously, yeah,
So did you kill anyone?
yeah.
So would God be happy?
oh,
Um, Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. Obviously, I wasn't really familiar with it back then.
So
Now
if
I
you see
am.
like if
So
you see your cousin playing GTA 6, would you stop him?
I would, but I can't really, force him to, shut
mm,
down the computer or something. That obviously,
true.
that that depends upon his own. I just have to tell him,
What if you have a
and
kid in the future and you see him play?
Yeah, I mean that rather depends how you uh, r- raise him. Like if you raise him according to the customs and
But what
according
if you
to
play, what
how
if you play GTA like on a normal way, just walking around, driving a car?
yeah, I mean that's obviously allowed. You just can't kill someone. Yes, yeah. The
What if you're
killing part
driving?
is
What if
where
you're driving too fast and accidentally run over an NPC?
I mean it's obviously a game after all, and it shouldn't really be taken that like seriously like a matter of heaven and hell. But yeah, all after all, the most yeah the more opinion of the scholars is anything
Yeah.
that
Just Chris,
requires killing is what
have you tried the Maggi and curry mix, the Korean dish in Pakistan?
I haven't yet. But there's ramen place open here, so
Ooh,
then there,
yum.
it's quite yeah, it's quite filled. It's quite busy.
Mm. I actually like. I think you should check it out. Like, I think it's busy because it's so popular right now of the amount of Koreans. That sounds really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably will. It's kind of far from
But
where I live, so yeah.
going back to history, like if you look at Pakistan colonization, I think it kind of helped, like when the British colonized Pakistan, don't you think?
Ooh.
Help in what exactly?
Because like before it was like because Pakistan, one country. Like I saw stories of like how Hindus used to burn their women alive. It's kind of
Damn.
lawless in a way, but the British came
Ooh.
and made it still law and order. So I kind of think
Mhm.
Yeah, so since obviously Islam came into the subcontinent uh, uh, like some time after, but before it came, obviously it had some issues within the society, like the one you mentioned, which was which was also a problem in Arabia as well.
but
Also a
yeah,
problem in Arabia as well. But yeah, since Islam came, there's been a significant
but
decline in
but after like
such stuff.
after the partition of like how India and Pakistan got split, how
Yep.
did India become the better country?
Ooh, good question.
Obviously, being the fact that obviously the if you I don't know if you know about this, but uh, when the partition happened in 1947, uh, the train that was meant to you know uh, shift the Muslims that were living in the Hindu majority areas in India, and like they were supposed to uh, send them to Pakistan in trains. The trains, they those trains were burned midway. So by the time they reached here, it was basically just trains full of dead bodies. So yeah, there's been some quite uh, such acts from them. Also, since they're obviously a bigger country and they have more resources, and you can say in a kind of way they have some control over the over our water sources as well. So yeah, if you combine such factors, so I think it becomes pretty obvious why.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair. It's like the British like they split between them, but yeah, Pakistan is like economically disadvantaged. So is India, but their country's better than you. I heard their military is better than yours.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
there is corruption, of course. Corruption, I believe, we're one of the uh, probably like top 10 countries like in corruption, and yeah, it obviously plays a huge part in declining the society. No jobs, more crime incidents. Yeah, it's basically all interconnected within one another. Yeah, it really plays a huge part when you have a couple of like perhaps 5 or 6 hungry families sitting on top of the hierarchy, and they just keep focusing on making themselves rich rather than thinking about the 220 million people. So
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it does make
I'd say it
sense.
makes
Yeah,
sense. Anyway, guys, I gotta go and like hop on the match. So talk to you guys later.
yeah, right,
All
right.
good.
See you.
Okay,
Catch
sure,
you,
sure.
boss.
Talk to you later.
I'll come back
See
next
ya.
time so we can talk
Yeah,
about.
okay, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
let's come back. Yeah. Sounds good.
Ruben, am I
Yeah.
invited next time as well? Would you be happy for me to come?
Sure, sure. Why not?
Yeah, you know,
Oh, good. Sounds good.
yeah, ciao.
See ya.
See you, see you.
Bye bye.
Dang, completely went off the track.
Yeah, for like, what are we talking about, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, that's crazy. But where
yeah.
we
So
at?
yeah,
Germany and
Germany,
Paraguay, right?
Paraguay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So I guess I'll start off then. I mean, this game was shocking. I remember my prediction was like 2-0 for Germany. And then Momin, like, he predicted like Germany to have a big win. But obviously, none of that happened. Going to this game, I think we obviously did see Germany as favorites, but in my opinion, I think throughout the whole game, Germany just didn't look that dangerous. Obviously, I do
Mm.
think they had like a few chances here and there. I mean, they did have quite a number of chances. But, those chances weren't like super convincing. Like, and then we also had to talk about like the other things, like when Cisco scored the goal, like no one was marking the guy who crossed. I think that was crazy. Like literally, no one was marking the guy who crossed the ball. And then Kimmich, he also almost gave away a goal, costed them. And yeah, lastly, I also want to talk about is the Jonathan Tah disallowed goal. Like, what's your opinion on that? Do you all think it should have been disallowed or should have been kept? What do you think, David?
Well, I think the nature of the game nowadays, there's harsh calls, there's controversial calls. I think it should have stood. I think it was a very harsh call. What do you think, Momin?
Yeah, so that goal obviously came in the first half of the extra time. Anton, the number three of the German defense, although he did kind of block uh, Gill from reaching the goal. I think if he hadn't really blocked it, I think the goalkeeper would have at least you know gotten his hand on the ball and maybe able to push the danger away. But I think in such moments when it's like a 1-1 game and it goes to extra time and also a World Cup knockout game, the stakes are too high, the pressure is too high. Uh, so yeah, I think even the softest calls can sometimes hinder your progress, which I think what happened. It was definitely a controversial call. Might not really be enough contact to give a foul, but the the the, the moment it was, the time it was, I think. But yeah, it was controversial. But I mean, you're speaking about four times World Cup champions here with the quality of the players they have compared to Paraguay. I really don't think they should be perhaps crying over this disallowed goal because you had 120 minutes to score one more goal on Paraguay and you failed to do so. I think this is a much bigger question mark on their attack, on their midfield, which should have surely done better. And as I kind of mentioned as well in the you know earlier before we had the history session, uh, like uh, you know, Germany, obviously they had like majority of the possession, like 70-80%, but they could not really create as much chances that you would expect them to make. Yeah, they definitely lacked in this game. And Paraguay, yeah, they made history with this one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's just crazy for Paraguay. And the fact that Jonathan Tah went from hero to zero in within like, like 10, 20 minutes. But going to the penalty shootout as well, I mean, I was still happy to see like, I still think like Neuer was still all right. But going to this Germany team again back, I think like I think Sane had an awful performance, and looking at his stats afterwards, he was even worse somehow. Like he just felt
Mm.
like he didn't really contribute much.
Mhm.
And Musiala, he did come on as a substitute, and I think he was providing like some like a better performance at least, but still it was not up to the level because obviously he did have the injury and stuff as well. And also we cannot ignore the dive he tried to do. Like that was very stupid in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the mistake the Germany made here was they first of all they started Unda in this game, which I think they should not have started. Like we obviously seen him in the group stages game. Like he's been more like a super sub for them. I think he should have continued that role. And if he came into the game like within 65, 70th minute, I I think he would have made a difference. But yeah, he took off Undaf to bring Mate, which later on he missed the penalty as well. I think that was some perhaps a stupid substitution from their coach, and yeah, I think he should have kept Undaf on to at least push it to the. I mean penalties. He obviously has more experience. Who knows? Maybe he would have scored.
Yeah, right. So David, anything you want to add on finally before we move on to the next game?
Yeah, I just want to say that like I'm really surprised. I thought Germany would go quite far. I think Paraguay. I'm shocked. I'm shocked because Australia, we played them, and sorry, they weren't that good. Like they're not that good of a team. So this just shows that Germany were really poor, to be honest. But yeah, let's go on to the next game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. So I'm gonna just start this off. First thing first, in my opinion, I think this was the best game of the day and possibly one the best game of the tournament so far as well. Like just as the game started, I think it was already quite intense. In my opinion, I do think in the first half, like Morocco were still like the better team. Although it was, I wouldn't say like domination. I do think they were like better though. But in the first half, I definitely think they did not like finish up their chances well. I think they could have, they easily had like two good chances, but they just missed it. And then going to the second half, I do think like it was still like kind of like the same intensity. But I do want to say like Netherlands, I think like Somerville, he was a baller. I mean, obviously the fact he missed the penalty later, but I don't think that should distract us from the fact of the great game he had. Like it felt like a lot of the attacks they just kind of started with him, like long balls to him, and yeah, his pace, everything. It was just quite good. And also I'll have to talk about the Gakpo goal. I mean, it was just a beautiful moment of football, really. Yeah, like such devastating news that happened to him in the last few days, and to score the goal, yeah, it was just a beautiful moment, man. But yeah, what your opinion on the game? Like, I think the defenders were moving crazy as well. Like the one Hacky, like
Mm.
the tackles he was making was crazy.
Oh yeah. And
absolutely.
Van Hecke, is it? He was
Yeah,
sliding
yeah.
in a lot. Yeah, he was quite sharp. I thought it was a great game. I feel I feel like Morocco deserved to win it probably. I think they had a lot of great chances early on, as you were saying. And I think Netherlands were lucky to hold on. Like they were parking the bus for dear life, pretty much the same way Japan were. So I feel like real football won, to be honest. What do you think, Momin?
Yeah, as we mentioned, well, obviously a great game. Morocco, I kind of think they were the better team over both the halves. Uh, they made more chances, and obviously Holland, similar to Japan, after scoring, they just went back, parked the bus, which once again allowed Morocco to put up pressure upon them. And Issa Diop at the additional time scored the equalizer. And yeah, everyone had it coming. Morocco would score sooner rather than at some point they would score, and they did it right at the end. And yeah, if we move to the penalties, it was a really intense shootout. Both the teams missed some penalties, both of them scored, but at the end of the day, it was Saibari who took the winning penalty, and he's been brilliant for Morocco overall as well. I mean, if you look at the group game, I think he scored in each one, if I'm not wrong. Uh, yeah, he's been a great player for them. But yeah, make no mistake, this game absolutely had everything in it, from fights to from fights to their tackles, and I think when Henke's forehead was bleeding as well. Yeah, the game definitely had everything you would expect from two, like one being the probably the most informed African team, secondly, a European powerhouse. Yeah, it went exactly how everyone anticipated it. It was a great game. In the end, Morocco deserved it, and they went through.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, like you have said, I think the penalty shootout was quite intense, but I think it was like one of the it was like worse in the sense that you did not kind of expect the teams to be that bad at penalties. Or like I think the penalty takers were quite bad, but I think that was kind of hilarious and it brought a lot of entertainment to it. And obviously it was quite intense. Like you said, the first penalty I remember Netherlands scored it, but I remember Morocco missed it. And at that time I was worried like I think like Netherlands already had like the lead or some. But yeah, after
Mm,
that they just turned it around. But yeah, it's just kind of sad because like I've said, like Somerville missed the penalty, Timber missed the penalty. Like
yeah.
especially I think the Somerville had a good game. But
Mm,
going back to it, Saibari, I think in this game he was like kind of average in my opinion, and also think he should have been substituted off earlier. But I was so happy that he finally scored the winning penalty, though, in the sense that he did like contribute and continue like his contribution for like his team.
Yeah,
yeah. No, definitely. I agree. I think the penalties were really, really bad. Like, this might be the worst penalty shootout I've ever seen, honestly. Like, both teams deserve to lose on penalties. Morocco were barely better. I just think, yeah, Netherlands was shocking. Like, even the penalties which went in could have been a miss. Like, they were not good at all. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, but I think the Netherlands goalkeeper Verbruggen, if
Yeah.
correct, yeah, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
having a great game though. I feel like
Definitely.
he did have a great game, but yeah, even like Hakimi missed a penalty. Like I think that was crazy as well.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean the Dutch keeper Verbruggen, obviously he made some crazy saves in the game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had really good game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I thought he played well.
we move to the predictions now. Starting off with
Oh,
Ivory
yeah.
Coast, Norway. The game is obviously on right now. We're 5 minutes in. It's
Oh,
a nil-nil so
damn, bro. I
far.
didn't realize.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
damn. All
nil-nil
right.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
far. So what do you think? Who's going through here? I think me
Yeah.
and
Sing back.
Singpak already gave ours.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's yeah, you should give yours.
Oh, okay. Is this for the? Oh, yeah. I see. I see. Well, I think Norway should win this. I think Norway are the favorites. Although, yeah, based on FIFA ranks, Norway are 31st, Ivory Coast are 33rd. So I feel like based on recent form, Norway are favorites, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ivory Coast do it. What do you think, Singpack?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I did give my predictions yesterday. I back Ivory Coast for a win here because, in my opinion, I do think like even though Norway did play good in the second game, for the third game they obviously
Yeah,
rested all their players, and for the first game I think they weren't that good until like Iraq crumbled. But going to this game, I do think like Ivory Coast attack is quite good as well. So obviously,
yeah,
Norway one will be better because they have like Haaland or but I think Diomande, Nicolas Pepe, they're gonna be ignored as well.
Bronny.
And yeah, I think so far, like the as a whole team, I would say like Ivory Coast have just been quite good in every game. So
Yeah.
of that reason alone, I'm backing a win for them. But I reckon it wouldn't be that far off though.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
Ahmad as well. Ahmad from
yeah,
United.
yeah. I'm at the other. Yeah, I also predicted a 2-1 win for Ivory Coast here. Like, if we talk about them, obviously Ivory Coast, we've seen them play Germany. They, and if being honest, I think they that's the game they should have won, but unfortunately they could not finish their chances, and they were paid heavily by that. Then on the other side, Norway. I think we've seen them play their main teams obviously against Senegal and Iraq, but in their game against France, they obviously played their B team. But yeah, so for that reason, I think the Norwegian side hasn't really been tested against a top, like a top team. I think today's game is a real test for them, considering how kind of Ivory Coast is basically, for me at least, kind of balanced in all of their aspects like attack, defense, midfield. They're like they have good players in all those fields. So I think yeah, it will be a tough one for Norway. If, like they're facing a proper like World Cup side, and Ivory Coast, obviously not to be underestimated. So yeah, this is why I'm making a 2-1 win for Ivory Coast here. So yeah, let's move to the next game, being France versus Sweden. What are your predictions for this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start off here. I think like Sweden is like everything we have said before. I think their attack is good, but obviously their defense and midfield isn't the best. And I think that will be the problem for this game. So I mean, obviously, I think like we can all agree that France, the quality difference is there is a quality difference between France and Sweden. So I'm just get this straight. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for France.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I agree, to be honest. I think Sweden okay, but France should do this, to be honest. I'd say even a 3-0, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean their defense against Netherlands was shocking, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, but this Paraguay versus Germany game really gave me a lot of hope. And but yeah, let's not ignore the fact that France's attack was the very heavily stacked in even if they start their second attack, that's still very that's still a great attack. But yeah, Sweden they also got perhaps good attacking players. But if Paraguay could beat Germany, I think Sweden can hold off France as well. And I think this game might not finish in the 90 minutes. I think it either goes to extra time or penalties as well. But and if it goes to penalties, I think Sweden crumble really because France, the player that they have, I'm really expecting much better from them than we saw like in the Paraguay game, the penalties in that game. So I think it goes to penalties and France wins it in penalties.
Yeah, right, right. Interesting. I mean, obviously it's good that you don't directly just back the fact that France is gonna like dominate and stuff. Is using the like logic of like Germany and stuff, like how like the first game they look quite good. But in my opinion, like I think after the first game Germany played, I think like even the after this 2 games they played, they weren't like that good in my opinion. Like they weren't like looking that strong. But for France though, I do think like obviously they played against like the fact like Iraq when they played against Iraq. Like in the first half, I do think like Iraq was like showing up their own levels as well. But yeah, like I've said, I do just think the quality difference will be too much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, for France, I mean, you could say a kind of maybe similar thing as well because if you look at their game against Norway, despite Norway, starting their B team, Norway could still, eventually beat France's A team. Like the Norwegian side did have chances. Strand Larsen missed a pen. He had another good chance as well, which he couldn't convert. So yeah, I think if you look at all these factors, I'm at least hoping for a good game, not really a one-sided one. But yeah, I definitely have high hopes from Sweden here. Let's move to the third game, being Mexico versus Ecuador. So what do you think? What are your predictions for this one?
You want to start off first, David?
Yeah, I can start first. I I think that Ecuador have been a bit of a dark horse this tournament, although at the same time, Mexico playing in Mexico, that's a pretty scary thing to face. I think Mexico could do it in extra time 1-0 win. That's what I'm thinking. What about you, Singpack?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think after the first game of Mexico, they still have been surprisingly looking decent. Like from the first game, I wasn't super impressed because I think it was a disaster class from South Africa. But yeah, after then, they are still looking solid. But at the same time, while I don't think like Ecuador is like the best dark horse in this tournament, like everyone has been making out to seem, I mean, there's no denying that their defense is quite solid, and even the midfield isn't that bad. Like the only problem they have is really in the attack. So yeah, I actually do see a Ecuador win here. So that's why I don't think it will be a game full of goals. So that's why I'm backing a 1-0 win for Ecuador.
Yeah, interesting take. And yeah, as David mentioned, it's round of 32, Mexico playing in the Azteca, and we have seen how much the support they get in their home country. Of course, the Azteca, as it's known as the 12th player, the crowd is insane, and the stadium itself, it's basically a sense of pride, playing in the Azteca where the, the players they look up to the current team, their inspirations. They probably played in this, in this very stadium, and made some upsets potentially. So yeah, I think that this will be a good game. Like if we continue seeing how Ecuador played against the Germans, it will be a really tough one for Mexico here actually. And yeah, as Singh mentioned, the Ecuadorian defense very solid. Ordonez, Pacho, Hincapi, and yeah, their midfield is Stupinan, Caicedo, and their attack, Angulo, who basically scored a banger against them. And yeah, I think Ecuador has a decent chance here as well. And I also think this game does not really end within the 90 minutes. I think this goes into extra time where we see a last minute goal from Ecuador here. So yeah, I'm also gonna be backing a 1-0 win for Ecuador in this game.
Ooh, nice. Sorry
Yeah,
guys, I have to quickly leave, but you guys keep going.
yeah,
All right, see you guys.
yeah.
Like,
To
yeah,
just
ending it now.
give the
Yeah.
prediction. Yeah, yeah, indicate. Yeah, let's give a
Oh, okay,
prediction for
cool.
the England Congo game, and yeah, we can just
Okay,
quickly
cool.
wrap it up within like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, so my England predictions. I think I think England will win this. I'm probably a little bit biased because I like the England team, but I think England will win it probably a 1-0. I think it'll be another low scoring final. I know that England really can park the bus. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. I think Congo, they have good players. They've looked sharp so far, but England have world class players. So that's what I reckon. What do you think, Singpack?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a little bit biased for England as well here, but let's not forget like how decent DR Congo has been in this tournament so far. I feel like for the Portugal game, obviously it was their defense and man marking was insane. And for the Colombia game, even though they lost, they weren't like quite bad compared to them. And yeah, in even and then the Uzbekistan game, obviously they won. They did not finish that last in the group. And yeah, we've seen like how England like tends to like struggle against like teams that have like quite solid defense, like we have seen so far. So yeah, that's why I do think it won't be like a game full of goals, but I'm still backing a win for England here. So I'm backing a 2-1 win for England.
Yeah, very interesting. So I think it's gonna be a similar game to Paraguay Germany. I think Congo actually scores first here as well because I'm not really completely convinced with the English defense. So I think they will concede in this game, and this game also goes to penalties, where England might have some upper hand, but penalties could still go either way. You could have world class player and they could still miss under the pressure. So I think that England, I don't really see another upset here, but it would be great if we could see another one. But yeah, I think England goes through in the penalties. Uh, so yeah,
Yeah,
they
so
don't
with
really win it.
that,
And yeah, let's just wrap it up.
yeah,
Thank you
I
guys for
think we all
watching.
want to watch
Yeah,
the Ivory
yeah,
Coast game,
yeah.
right?
Every
So yeah,
course
let's
game,
just end
yeah,
it.
for sure. Yeah, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll catch you up tomorrow, the next episode.
All right,
All
catch
right,
you all on the
see
next
ya.
one.
See you guys in the next one.